inside. Something you need. Something you hate. Something you love.
I'm gonna call the police now.
You can't do that. Don't tell anyone. Don't you dare.
Let's talk about the new film Vicious, which is actually being released today. I had the opportunity to watch this back at Fantastic Fest a month ago. This is the new film from Brian Bertino, who is, of course, the director behind The Strangers, which I thought was interesting. They're showing the new Brian Bertino movie at Fantastic Fest, and at the same time, The Strangers Chapter 2 was also premiering there. Oh my god, what a crazy thing, right? And I don't mean to sound like I'm just making or mocking fun of it, actually. I'm just saying it was kind of interesting. This film stars Nekoda Fanning as well as Kathryn Hunter. And I will tell you, they are both great in this movie. But what exactly did I think about Vicious as a movie itself? Well, let's get into it. But before we do, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I do have my review for Shelby Oaks out already. So if you want to go check that out, check it out. But let's read about what Vicious is about. So it says, when Polly, played by Nekoda Fanning, receives a mysterious box from an unexpected late-night visitor, it comes with a simple instruction. Place 3 things inside. Something you need, something you hate, and something you love. So we've heard the concept of boxes all the time, right? There's a movie actually called The Gift, which I think is such an incredible film about sort of mysterious packages arriving at your doorstep. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's continue. It says, what begins as a strange ritual quickly unravels into a waking nightmare, trapped in a terrifying world where reality bends and memory betrays. Polly must navigate a series of impossible choices. As time slips away, she's forced to confront the darkness not just around her, but within her, before it consumes everything and everyone she knows. Right off the bat, let's start off. Kathryn Hunter in this is incredible. She just plays this very mysterious woman in such a way that just oozes this dread, this terrifying feeling that something is not right. And I was so scared of her performance throughout. I think she just nails it right on the head. And it is such a great performance that I think that a lot of people are going to be a bit frightened when they see Kathryn Hunter out on the street, and you're just not going to want to take a box from her. So I think that she does that role well. I think Nekoda Fanning in this is also good. There are so many of these moments throughout the movie where she is in these very morbid and gruesome like events, and you just feel for her. She has such a guttural scream at points that you truly feel it in your bones, what she's feeling, and I think she's great. She's great in this for sure. Brian Bertino directing, I think, is good. The sound design is truly what's impeccable. It really will be the main thing you think about. The sound design here just goes really, really hard. Where I think the movie starts to be a bit flimsy is in its story, in its pacing, and the message it's trying to convey. I think the story at the beginning really captures you, and you're just there wondering, okay, what exactly is this box for? Where does it come from? What is the ritual for? What is it going to do at the end? You really start to go all of these questions in your mind. But I think the story starts to become so convoluted and so repetitive that it starts to get dull, and you kind of don't care about any of these answers. You just care about, when is this movie actually going to end? And that's the worst thing that a movie can give you, is that question come up in your head, like, okay, when is it going to end? What's going to happen, right? A movie should always have you wanting more, but Vicious kind of has you wanting less, or for it to just completely stop and the credits to roll. And I think that's at the fault of the story not really being as engaging because of the runtime, because it sort of starts to lose steam and it's just running on empty. And also because I think there really isn't a message like carved out where we really can hit home, right? And I'm not saying that a movie shouldn't have ambiguity, that a movie should spoon feed you. I just saw a movie that kind of spoon feeds you a lot and it kind of got annoying. But I think that a movie should at least be clear in where it's trying to go in itself, even if it has you thinking about it a bit after and then you finally come to the conclusion. I'm not saying you have to come to a conclusion while you're watching the movie, right? But I feel like Vicious ends up going nowhere. It just runs around in a circle and then it ends. And that's where I think the movie really just kind of aggravated me. I think it's still solid when it comes to the emotions that Bertino's trying to portray here, which is something I've read about and also thought about watching the movie. And I'll talk more about that in spoilers tomorrow. So stay tuned for that video if you want to watch spoilers. But I also think that the performances here really elevate this movie and keep you engaged and going. The incredible sound design. So everybody else is hitting really great marks, but I think the story in itself is what really brings the movie down, as well as the pacing. The pacing is really weird because it starts off really great. It's a slow burn of sorts right at the beginning, and you start to get into these weird things that are happening. And then ultimately it starts to deviate. It starts to really hit stops and stops and stops. And then the third act, the final act, you get a lot of moments where you're just like, oh, okay, that's it. I'm getting off of my chair. And it's like, no, wait, there's more. Oh, okay, we'll sit down. Let's see where it's going. Like, okay, that's it. I'm getting off of my chair. No, more? I mean, that was clearly an ending right there. What are we doing? These anecdotes and these tangents we start to dive into a little bit more. And then ultimately it doesn't lead anywhere. And you're just like, then what was the point of keeping me here? You know, I don't want to be somebody who tears down movies, but I just couldn't really get all the way there with Vicious. I do like it for its moments. I think there are some concepts here that would definitely be explored, and I think it would make it an interesting story. But overall, what I was able to see from this movie by the end and all of that, it just felt like a movie that was just running on empty after its second half and was just running in a circle until it tried to figure out what it was trying to do or say. And then it thinks it did, but I don't think it did at all. And so it just felt like it just fell on its face and got tired and quit by that third act. So overall, I think Vicious might be a movie. If you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you don't. And I think you'll be okay still, right? I don't think it's a movie that's really going to change you if you watch it or you don't watch it. But to me, it was just whatever, right? It was one of my least favorite movies I've watched at Fantastic Fest in the last 3 years I've gone to Fantastic Fest. So overall, really was hoping for more, but we ultimately get what we get. But let me know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments down below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, that is going to do it for me on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.